gold YouTube channels, and then also we're going to get into gold panning. We're going to learn how to gold pan. Might be a bit of sucking eggs for the old timers there, but we're going to get into it. So let's get going. Oh, prizes! We got prizes too. So let's get into it right now. Righto, welcome everyone. Lots and lots of people here. It looks like it's working on YouTube. I've just got to pull the chat screen up so I can see what's going on. Vernon, first in the house tonight. Well, look at things. Jay, Philip, Jeff, Adrian, Douglas, Tony, Walkabout Prospecting in the house. Prizes tonight. We've got these cool pick holders from the man with two names. And they are a very, very good pick holder. I actually wear one of those on my back of my harness. I wear the pick behind my head, but you can also put them on your belt. So they're very, very good pick holders. You've got a nice set of scales here, really good quality set of scales, $49 set of scales. So really, really good stuff. So a bit of a summary about what's going on tonight. We've got, well, first off, apologies for last week. I was chasing rainbows, which was very disappointing because there was no rainbows. Well, there was no pot of gold at the end of the rainbows. A stack of rainbows, but no pot of gold. So apologies there. So last week we were going to do gold panning. Let me just pull the screen up and just see what we missed. Gold panning. So we're bringing that into tonight. And then I was going to do the gold discoveries around Bathurst last week, but because this week is sort of, about the same time that, well, a few years later, but about the same time that Orange was discovered, we're going to throw Bathurst, Orange, Hill End, Ophir, Oberon, all into one little pot, and we'll look at those. Yes, and then we've got a cracking show next week. It's the show that scares me the most. What detector would I buy? So we're going to look at new detectors. We're going to have a look at one of my favourite places, the Palmer River Gold Rush anniversary coming up. So we're going to have a look at that next week. So it's great. So it's all happening here. It's all happening. So... Right, so my phone's going off. I forgot to turn it off. Yes, so yeah, that's Maddie actually texting me saying it sounds like a different microphone. And I may be on a different microphone because I was having audio issues, but I think it's the right one. We are going to switch over to the, the webcam microphone shortly, and that should provide a challenge for the technologically disabled version of me. So yes, right, we've got a 6,000 update coming as well, but enough chatting about stuff. So not working on YouTube. Well, it is working on YouTube. I tried to fix this issue. So if you dial into YouTube, I can see that Gold Diggers is live on YouTube right now. It's not on the link. I have no idea how to get it to go to the link that I put up week before, 2 weeks before. I've got no idea. Got to get an expert in, someone who knows what they're doing. So if you go to the Gold Diggers page, there is a live video streaming on YouTube. So if you're trying to find it on YouTube, that's where it is. So my apologies. And what I'll do is, just to avoid confusion, I will select that and I will edit and I will permanently delete that link there. Delete forever, it tells me. So I'm not deleting the live one, I'm just deleting the link. So yes, geeks to you, that's what I need. Who said that? Someone said that. I need that desperately. I desperately need a geek. But anyway, enough about me. Let's talk about some gold discoveries, eh? We'll talk about, let's just get this going here. We've got to hide this one. Let's talk about, what page have I picked up first? Let's talk about Hill End, the thriving metropolis of Hill End. When I say thriving metropolis of Hill End, I don't actually mean a thriving metropolis, as we'll cover in a minute. So, for those people who don't know, right, I've got let's get over here to the monitor share here. I've just pulled up my my Gaia GPS. This is what I use all the time in the bush, sort of thing. So we've got our New South Wales topo map here. We'll scroll in on that. So we've got orange up here, Bathurst down the bottom here. I hope you can see my mouse. So that's Bathurst, that's orange. So we're talking central New South Wales, right? Hill End, look for the black. The black is where you're talking about. Hill End, Ophir, Oberon. But we're just going to cover those. There's a lot of other gold areas surrounding that, but we're just going to cover those for the moment. So I've just noticed I've got my old sieves in the background here, but we've got stuff stuck up here everywhere, so I won't worry about them now. So Hill End, right? Now Hill End, discovered in the 1850s, and this is a lot of these gold mining towns are a bit like this. And Hill End peaked in the 1870s. Sorry, I've got to get the picture up. There you go. There we go. So let me do that again. Hill End's up here, right? Ophir. This is orange, Bathurst, Oberon. So they're the three we covered. Sorry, I forgot to push the button, push the picture across to you. So here we go. And that's my sieves, if you wondered what the deal was there. Anyway, so it's running like clockwork tonight. The brain is just addled. So there's a couple of interesting things about Hill End. When we talk about Hill End, we'll just go pull up Hill End here. So Hill End, of course, 1850s gold rush, 1851, really started then. But in the 1870s, it had a population of around 8,000 blokes. 28 pubs, of course. You got to have enough pubs. 8 churches, 5 banks. But the gold really ran out. In the coming up to the Great Depression time. A lot of blokes went out there in the Great Depression. But by 1845, the population was 700. And the latest figure I could find in which was 2017, there's only about 80 people living in Hill End. But first stamper battery in Australia, 1856, Hill End, obviously on a ship from Sydney. Just to give you an idea of that journey, in 1856, bullock teams from Hill End, which is that top black dot there, from Sydney town. I probably haven't got enough here. From Sydney town, that was a fair hike up to Hill End for the first stamper battery. So we'll get you zoomed back out here. So that's very, very interesting about Hill End. So I forgot to push the button again, didn't I? So Hill End was a fair hike with the bullock train. I don't know what's going on tonight. I forget to push these buttons. Anyway, so that's Hill End. Very, very interesting area. Still good gold at Hill End, right? There is some access issues there. There's not a lot of ground, but there's some ground. So Hill End is excellent. There's some state forests in the area, but yes, Hill End is excellent. So, righto. So that's the whatchamacallit, that's the little bit I wanted to do about Hill End. It was fantastic. So what we're going to do now is we are going to, let me get these comments back up here. We are going to switch across, and I'm going to do a little gold panning demo. Now this is more for the new guys if you're not here, and of course, speaking of new guys, if you're lurking, digital scales, good little pick holder here. If you're lurking and new, to enter these prizes, to win these prizes, I'm giving these away tonight live. To win these prizes, you need to make a comment. So say Just say g'day. That's all you need to do. There's Brett going, hey all. That's all you need to do. Make a comment. And yeah. So what we're going to do for those new guys is we're going to get across to, and we're going to do the gold panning in a couple of stages. So it's not forever there. We're going to head across to the gold panning station, and we're going to put a little bit of dirt in, and we're going to show you some basic panning techniques. So let's head over there now. You'll see a bucket and a pan. I'll be there, well, my hands will be there momentarily. See you later. Righto, now I need to just double check the sound here to make sure the sound's running. It is running sensational. Now, I won't be able to see your comments. Here I am. Well, here's my hands anyway. I won't be able to see the comments just for a minute until I get there. So this is my favourite pan, well-used pan. Let's clean it up a little bit. It's the Gold Trap pan from Garrett. I still use the Gold Trap pan. There's a lot of more modern pans out these days, but I think this is still the best pan. So what I have here next to me is actually clean dirt. Now that seems like a funny statement, but this is clean dirt. Now the reason we put clean dirt in it is because so we can actually see what's going on. See, clean dirt. So we're just going to do a little bit there to start with, right? I hope there's some gold in this. I haven't actually tested this. As you can see, it's dry material. This is actually what we use in our sluice in the shop. So you can see the action as the riffles on the sluice. Now, you can see material floating on the top of the surface. You would normally put a piece of some dishwashing liquid or some rinse aid if you were doing this at home. But if you're doing that in the bush, it's not normally an issue because the surface tension on the water that's holding all that material up is not as severe in the bush. But let's just imagine we're in the bush, right? We'll ignore all that surface tension, but it's a good example of what can happen in a sluice if you're doing cleanup at home. So what the most important thing with gold panning, particularly if you're new, is to break up all the clay balls, right? You don't want the gold will stick to the clay, and so you want to get your hands in there and break up all the material like this, okay? You want to make sure it's all broken up. You will end up with a clayey mess, which is lovely. So the basics of gold panning is we're stratifying material. What stratifying means is we're separating the heavy material to the bottom and the light material to the top. Now we do that with water. You can do it dry as well. I'm a miserable dry panner. I did do a demonstration on dry panning once. Couldn't find anything, to be honest with you. I had to go looking for the nuggets I put in there. So, wet material. We've broken the clay up, okay? So, what we want to do is we want to get this material moving, right? Now, let me get some water off this so you can see what's going on. So, all this material is moving as one. As that material's moving from side to side, my pan is still flat at the moment. As that material is moving side to side, it's jiggling it all around. The light material is coming to the top. The heavy material is sitting on the bottom of the pan at the moment, right? So my pan's flat. If I was to tip my pan up there, up on an edge, so I'm on about a 15 or 20 degree angle here, right? What is happening is the heavy material is sinking into that bottom corner of the pan, right in the bottom, right? So it's sinking into the bottom there. And what will happen is, what we're going to do, let me get rid of that water so you can see what's happening. What we're going to do is we're going to wash this light material off the top. Now these riffles in the pan are going to catch the heavy material, so we shouldn't lose any. So let me just get some water going here, right? And we'll just stratify it and then switch the material. Now, we get to a certain stage where we've washed a little bit of material off the top, right? You can bring that material back into the pan's flat. Side to side again, stratify it, start to lean it forward, right? And then wash the material off like that, right? Now, people say that I'm very harsh, and I am very harsh with these pans because most of the panning I do is testing. These things are perfect for testing. You need one of these. If you're a metal detectorist and you haven't got one, you need to get one, right? So side to side again, then wash the light material off. Okay, just dipping it in like that. I'm very harsh because a lot of what I do is testing. However, right, these pans, these Garrett Gold Trap pans, do not miss much, right? The riffles are perfectly designed that the gold wants to sit back, and for these demos, I do rush through them a little bit here. So here we go. Just wash that material off. We'll bring it back into the pan. We're getting down to the nitty gritty now. We'll start washing it off. When you get to this level, I like to pick out some of these big rocks and get rid of these big rocks. That's a garnet that shouldn't be in there. But I like to get rid of those big rocks so they're not interrupting the flow. You can lose a bit of gold with these bigger rocks sort of thing. So just make sure they're not a good size nugget. I hope there's a bit of gold in this. I should have tested that beforehand. So you end up like that, right? So you end up with that much material in it. What we're going to do is we're going to wash that material back into the pan in case any of it was caught in these riffles, okay? And then what we can do then is we can turn our pan around. This is one of the reasons I like this Garrett Gold Trap pan. It's very, very steep here. I'll bring it over to the other camera in a minute. It's very, very steep here and very shallow here. I'll show you when we get over there. So we'll slide our material, get all of our material down the bottom. The beauty of this long area here, we'll go side to side here, get the material stratified again. What you can do is you can run off the light material off that edge. I love this pan for this. And what you can do is I can watch, and I can see a piece of gold in here, little tiny bit of gold. I can watch that piece of gold, the leading piece of gold, and bring it all back into the pan then. Then just rinse it off, watching for the gold. It's very hard to see with this light here. It's very hard to see, but we're getting the idea. Now we're getting right down to it. I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to manually get rid of that rock. It was causing me an issue. So just going to wash. You can see you might not be able to see the black sands there. Wash it down here. Now, what we're going to do now is once you get down to a little bit of material like this, we will do a swirl, right? Now, a swirl is, that looks like a pyrite crystal there. I think it is a pyrite crystal. That's a big pyrite crystal by the look of it. Anyway, what we'll do is we'll center it in the pan there. I've probably got a little bit much water there. Center it in the bottom corner of the pan, right? And then we can just swirl the material around and see if we've got any color. Now, we've got a lot of heavies in here. You can see, we'll see if we can get this up here. You can see, and if we, you can see the gold is left here with the heavies, right? The other thing we can do is tap the pan up, right? And the gold will walk up the surface, work up here. I tend not to do that a lot, but there is only about, there's probably a dozen specks of gold in there. So we'll come back over here. I'll show you this next step in a bit later. So just give me a minute. I'll get round the corner here and we'll switch across. I'm back. I hope everyone could hear me there. Yes, some great suggestions here. I'm just looking at it. It's just come up. Great suggestions here. There's drop bird shot into the pans. Sinkers is another thing. Now, I want to stress to you how important it is to test ground with a gold pan to prove to you that there's gold in there. If you don't test the ground before and know that there's gold there, you could be walking on ground that has got no gold. So you need to really, really double check to make sure there's actual gold in the area that you're detecting in. Now, I've talked about this 100 times before. The easy way to do that is to jump out of your car on a wet day where you're planning to go detecting. You can't go detecting because you don't want your detector wet, right? Go and pan every gully, write down what you write down where's got gold and what hasn't got gold, is a fantastic way to go to prove your gold is in the area before you actually spend hours and hours detecting to get nowhere. So now we've got more to do on that pan. We haven't finished because we haven't got the gold out. Okay. So what are we going to talk about next? We're going to probably talk about one of these other areas. We'll get back onto the map and what have you. I just want to double check. I just want to double check that I haven't missed anything that really, really urgent. There doesn't look like I have. So what we're going to do is we're going to go across here. I just have to set myself up here with this one here. Let's get this fella here. This is, let's just get this one across here for you. Sorry, I get, yeah. Anyone know who this bloke is? So, yes. So, orange, right? Edward Hargraves found 5 specks of gold at Ophir, right, near Orange. Now let's just go back to our map here. We'll get our maps going here and get you across here. So we've talked about Hill End. We're running down the hill. Here's Ophir, right? So here's Orange, Bathurst again, right? So Ophir. Okay. Now, if we just go back to my mate here. So that was in February 1851. We try and tie all these dates in with the current date, so someone can work out, someone brighter than me can work out how many years ago that was. It was a lot. 130, 120? No, I don't know. A long time ago, 100 years ago. So 1950 would be 100, so 50, another 50, that's 150, 180 odd. No, 120 odd. Anyway, 170 I should say. So, now, they discovered 120 grams of gold in April 1851. So, there was a period of time where there was not much happening. So, there. So, the gold field was actually proclaimed, announced on 14th of May 1851. Yeah, so lots and lots of gold. So this nugget here, though, was 1872. The mine was at, this is Moore Hill End. So it's in that area there. But it was the largest specimen ever found for a period of time. I think the ones in WA surpassed it. But that's 1.5 metres long, right? That's a big chunk of gold. And 286 kilos. So, yeah. So it's a nice little nugget, that fella. So, just to give you an idea, right? I'll actually show you when we get to Ophir. I've got a cool picture there from Ophir. So, righto. So that is the. That's just a little bit of the. A little bit of orange. It wasn't a lot, but we'll get into some more detail at a later date. So, boom, boom, boom. 6,000 times. 6,000 times. Don't forget, you got to make a comment to win a prize. A set of scales, nice set of $50 scales, and a nugget scoop, a really, really cool, not a nugget scoop, God, what am I talking about? Pick holder. So, clip on your back of your harness or on your belt. So, quality. So, 6,000, right? There's a lot of guys hanging on waiting for this to come out before they purchase a machine, right? If you're in the market for a 5,000, maybe, right? But if you want the 7,000, I wouldn't be hanging back on it, right? Because it's not going to be as good as the 7,000. But in this week, last Friday, I think it was, this little teaser video came out. So here we go. So there you go. Now, yes, Matty Hahn, great point. The 7,000 is 1,000 times better. Few people get that, Matt. But seriously, the 7 is this. If this was better than the 7,000, they would have called it the 8,000. There's no doubt in my mind about that. Apparently, on bigger, deeper gold, this falls down quite considerably to the 7,000. So bear that in mind. 7's still around. SD's still around. SDC's still around. I've got a room full of them over there. And the 5,000 is still going to be a great machine. This one folds up nice and small. It's a bit more ergonomic. All that sort of jazz. So don't forget as well, if you want more information, more detailed information, insider tips and little bits I find out, make sure you send me an email on that email address there, and I will put you in our email list. And I send an email out there sort of every week, every 2 weeks, and we'll get you the detailed information there. Righto. So it's all very, very interesting. Now, for a time frame, right? Everything's been delayed. Let me do this. We've got to go back here because I'm still talking about 6,000. They were talking March. I would seriously be surprised if it's in March. I would seriously think that it's going to be April. So if you're waiting for one, bear in mind with all this stuff, the COVID world we're dealing with now, right? I think it's going to be April. I just think it is. I thinks it is. Right, so we're going to just duck over here, and I just want to do that. I'm just setting up for something here because I'm hopeless. Because I want to really get this right, because the next little section I want to do, right, is our page. You know how we're doing a channel or a page of the day, right? Well, this one, and unashamedly, a mate of mine, right? So let's just get it over here. I'll just put it up here. This bloke here, Aussie bloke prospector, right? If anyone's had the pleasure of meeting John from Aussie bloke prospector, right, will know the level of respect that he gains in the community. Now, the videos he does, if you're learning or more advanced, right, this is the bloke you should be watching. Aussie bloke prospector on YouTube, right? I've just recently watched that capture fine gold with a simple river sluice. Absolutely outstanding video. You know, they're not short videos, right? They're not short videos. These series, these mountain gold series, are just incredible. Really, really incredible videos. So, John from Aussie Black Prospect, if you're not on that, get on it and subscribe, right? And I'll let you into a little secret here. We're just going to go across here, John is also Eureka Prospecting, right? So John offers prospecting and fossicking tuition, right? Now, John's done this for a lot of years. I've learnt a heap off John. If you want advanced one-on-one metal detecting, fossicking, like he does some gemstones, I think. You'd have to talk to him about that. I might be making stuff up there. But Johnny is a quality trainer. I'm actually only recommending 3 people this year for training, and this is one of the guys. So, John, Eureka Prospecting, or Aussie Bloke on YouTube, right? He doesn't have a Facebook. I've been trying to talk him into it for ages, but get on to this guy, right? You will learn so much information watching those videos, and he is absolute quality, right? If you get the opportunity to spend a day with John, right? If you spend a day with him, spend the money. Training is the best investment, particularly once you've mastered your machine. He is a quality trainer. So he does New South Wales. He does that area we were talking about there earlier, Hill End and all that sort of stuff. All the way through to Warwick. He's done training in Claremont. So he is quality. Now he's just, you'll notice that his YouTube, he's just starting to, I'm still on that YouTube. He's just started to put up some videos, but he's had a little bit of a break. And we've been doing a bit of stuff together, John and I. So I've had the absolute pleasure of spending a couple of nights in the bush with him. So yeah, he's a top lad. So Eureka Prospecting, there you go, Aussie Bloke Prospector. Righto. So we've got a pan with a little bit of gold in it over here. We might get on over there and have another look at it. And what we'll do is, a lot of people get to that stage and they go, what do I do with it now? Well, stay tuned. I'm going to go over there and we're going to work it out for you. So, righto, we're heading that direction now. Okay, we're back at our panning station. We've got floating gold everywhere. So, we've just sunk the gold in. So, what I'm going to do is, we need, for clear vision on this, we're going to put a bit more dirt in here, right? We're going to put some more dirt in there, right? I'm going to do this as a quick pan. We'll just get all this, because what I want to do is I want to get a little bit more gold in there, so it's much easier for people to see. Anyway, sideward motion, stratifying. We don't need to break the clay out because this dirt's already washed. So we're just going to get into it here. We're going to really get into it, and we're going to get that gold down the bottom, stratify it, wash the top off. Right? Again, bring it back, stratify. There we go. So, we're going to get down here. Hopefully there's a bit more gold in this one. We'll get rid of this big rock because it's holding the show up. We're going to stratify that and then get rid of all that light stuff on the top. What you'll see is a stack of black rocks in here. There was a dopey bloke in the shop who threw a whole stack of tumbled garnet in the sluice. So I don't know why I did that. It's a pain. But that's what all that black rock is. See that black rock's in here? That's actually tumbled garnet. So it's heavy. You'll catch the gemstones in the pan as well. See how the garnets want to sit? So we might have to pull them out for the demonstration. So yeah, we'll just see there's 3 garnets in that pan. All right, we'll just get down a little bit further, and then we'll swing the pan around. You can do it at this stage, but that's good. We've got a bit more gold in there. I can see the colour. We'll get the gold washed down into this bottom corner, and we'll rinse a bit of this off, and we'll deal with those gemstones. Get rid of those gemstones. A smart man would start pulling them out now, but I just seem to leave them in in the pan. So we'll stratify that material a bit better, get the heavies right to the bottom, and we'll just wash this bit of this light stuff off. Now I'm watching this edge. I'm watching this edge and I'm watching this edge, looking for a piece of gold. The first bit of gold is my indicator, how far I can gently wash that down. I'm going to have to get rid of those garnets. So, and then what I do, I can't see any there. So we'll stratify that again. Let me just do this with these garnets. I don't know why I put them in there. We'll throw them back in there. I should get rid of them, but I don't. But you can see how those heavy stones, they were the only 3 garnets in there, right? And you can see how those heavies just sat in the bottom. They didn't want to go anywhere. We washed bigger rocks out, smaller rocks, and those heavy garnets just wanted to sit there. So you can see there we got a lot of black sand in there. So we'll wash this down a bit further. Right, we probably don't need to for this demonstration. See, it just wants to cling in there, which is beautiful because we got the right amount of thing, so right amount of colour in there. So we'll just adjust this light up a little bit further here, so we can see a little bit here. We'll do a swirl. Right, we've got a good tail of gold there. Right, it was a fairly aggressive swirl. Because we've got gold over here. If you ever get a straggler down there, you can just push them up, and then tap your finger in the water, push them up. Right. Okay, we're not worried about this gold floating. Well, we would be normally, but we're not at the moment. So, we've got this gold here. Okay, hope you can see it in the pan here. I want to introduce you to a snuffer bottle. Now, a snuffer bottle is just a plastic squeeze bottle, right? We sell a stack of different brands. This is a Proline one. With a straw and a sucker nozzle, right? So, we screw that on. Okay, now this is a vacuum cleaner, basically. And what it does is you squeeze the bottle in, you put it under the water where the gold is, and slowly release it. And what it does is it sucks that water, that gold on the bottom up, right? And the gold ends up in this snuffer bottle, right? So let me just gather this gold up again because I put it down and I mucked it up, and my swirling technique was terrible. People will be, I can tell, I can't see the comments, right? And I know people will be going, tap the pan, tap the pan. I know. Right, here we go. My table just let out a creak with this bucket of water on it. So we'll just swirl that around. We'll get rid of that. So we've got this little tail of gold up there. Well, see what happens when we don't have any detergent in the water. It just floats the gold. This is half my battle. We'll try that again and we'll see if we can keep it. I should have put a bit of detergent in this and we wouldn't have had to worry. So we've got it gathered up. Let me just squeeze the bottle in. Now nothing can come out because the water is below the straw. The gold is sitting. So when I've got this way up, right, the gold is sitting down in the neck of the bottle. It can't go out the bottle. Even if I squeeze, if that's full of water, right, let me just fill that up with water. Even when I squeeze this bottle, when it's got water in it, right, the gold is still sitting down here. So I can squeeze as much water out as I like, and the gold's still sitting in the bottom there. So, let me just suck up a bit of this, squeeze him in, let him slowly go. We try not to get that rock in there, because I haven't done it quite as the experts would be. Get a bit of this here. Right, so let's just say you've sucked all that out. This all goes back in the sluice, so I'll just rinse the pan out, right? So, what we've done now, not very well, haven't rinsed the pan out very well, but anyway, what we do now is we can then tip our bottle, if we like. We just rinse it in a bit of water, and we can tip our bottle out into the water, and we've got mostly the gold left in there. So that's a snuffer bottle. You can also, what I will then do is I actually won't tip it back into the pan like I have now. I will actually gather it up in the snuffer bottle, and I will then tip this into a saucepan. I've got a special gold saucepan. It's not gold coloured, it's black, as most saucepans are. But I've got a saucepan. I will tip this into my saucepan. It's not even a saucepan, it's a fry pan. I don't know what's wrong with me, not. But it's a fry pan. Right, I've got a little fry pan, and then I will gently put it on the gas stove. Okay, so I tip this into the fry pan, put it on a gas stove, and just gently evaporate the water off. So then you've got the gold powder left in the you got the gold powder left in there, right? And then I then deal with that into a little tray and into my bottle. So I hope that helps some people. I'm back over here on the far side. I hope that helps some people with the panning demonstration. So yes. So I think most people, right, could start out panning with that. I think, yes. So floating gold. I use Rinse Aid. With dishwashing detergent, you don't get you get a lot of dishwashing detergent or any of that soap stuff. It tends to get a bit bubbly, right? We had a major instance in 2015, I think it was 2015, the bubble incident of 2015, where I said to one of the guys, put a drop of washing up detergent in that sluice, and he gave it a good squirt, and I ended up filling the shop up with bubbles. There was I couldn't see the eye banker. All I could see was a mound of bubbles. So you don't need much, just a little tiny bit. So yes. Now Lynn again, a champion. Tonight's picture, I meant to talk about it earlier. This is from Nicole Weston. Right, Nicole, thank you very much. Nicole went on to Gold Digger Nation. If you're not on Gold Digger Nation, get onto the Nation, because it's a very, very good group where people are helping each other out, and yeah, spending a lot of time there. Some great finds, and we've got a bit of a picture competition going on there. So Nicole Weston, there she is, Nicole Weston. I see her there. Great picture from Haddon in Victoria. She had a 7-gram day that day, and what a good start to the morning. I think that's the morning. Can't tell if it's the morning. Nicole, is that morning or night? That one. So that would be very, very interesting sort of thing. So now with gold prospecting, I noticed they're high banking, all this sort of thing. With gold prospecting, you have to have a pan. Whether you're into high banking, whether you're into gemstones, whether you're into metal detecting, whether you're running a big plant, a 200 ton an hour plant, a gold pan is involved in all that. So you need to get good at those pans. So yeah. So now Scott's giving me grief about I keep mentioning the bubble incident. Yeah, Scott, it stuck with me, mate. It stuck with me because it was such. You ever tried to clean up a 5 foot tall, 6 foot wide mound of bubbles in the middle of a retail shop? It stuck with me for a while. It took hours to get that right. So anyway, I promise I won't mention it for the next couple of weeks. Right. So we're running out of time. Don't forget our prizes, right? All you need to do is comment, right? Next week we're going to do. You're going to have to share our post, right? It helps get viewers up, and we can do bigger prizes, all that sort of jazz, right? More people want to throw stuff at us when we've got bigger prizes and stuff like that. More people. So we're going to have to share, right? Yes. So, what are we up to? I don't know what we're up to. We've done Aussie Black Prospecting. Nicole's got the rap she deserved. We have talked about the 6,000. We must be back to our last little place. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to scroll in here because we're done with Hill End. We're done with Ophir, right? We're going to drop down to Bathurst here, right? We're going to drop right into Bathurst here. There's Bathurst. Over Oberon, one of the great little areas. So, did I say Bathurst? I did say Bathurst. So, the first gold find was in Oberon, right? Not too many people know about this. They talk about the 50s gold rushes, but 15th of February 1823, James McBride, Fish River near Bathurst, which is Oberon. That's where it really was. Fish River, I think, is up in the headwaters here. If I'm not mistaken, I don't know whether I can find it here, but I won't even try. But yeah. So I won't even try. But Fish Creeks, Fish River's there, sort of thing. So he found a fair few pieces of gold in the river. Okay. Now, what occurred because of this, right, is this sort of business went on, right? So, what happened there? Actually, I'll wait a minute. So, a lot of people think it had created gold rush in 1823, but no. The government suppressed that information. You had to report any gold finds to the government. There wasn't too many surveyors or geologists around at the time. So the government suppressed it. You can imagine 1820s. The place has only been there 45 years, right? The white settlers have only been here 45 years, okay? And they were worried that all the farmers, all the people working, the prisoners, the blokes growing the tomatoes and the bloke looking after the sheep, right, would all take off if there was a gold find. Okay? So they suppressed that information. What then happened is that California rush happened in 1848. So the population of Australia was then, all these blokes were going to seek their fortune over in California. They were leaving anyway. So in 1851, the government changed their mind on it and released the information and encouraged people to go and search for gold. Hence the big gold rushes of the 1850s. A lot of this information was known by the government earlier, like 1823 by James McBride, and it was suppressed by the government. There's Fish River right there. So there we go. There's Fish River right there. We wait for it to clean up and it'll look spectacular. So yeah. So that's what they did. They suppressed that and kept the information from the punters, one might say. So you get this sort of thing happening. There's some blokes at digging a hole. That's at Oberon. So you can see there's some good get up there. There's some proper get up. Some nice little skull caps there, and yeah, the boys look like they've been doing it hard. So yeah, well, Matty's corrected me here where the tomatoes were grown, the Griffith. Yeah, there'd be sheep country, I would expect. So yeah, so guys, how we're going here for time? So we've got a few minutes until we're drawing this prize. Right, let me get me giant again. We'll flick that across there. So, pick holder, right? These are very, very good pick holder, all plastic, very, very strong. I've been using one for a while now. They clip on the back of your harness in the middle of your neck, right? Which I really, really like. Or they will clip on your belt, sort of thing. So all you need to do is make a comment. One of these is going to YouTube, one's going to the Facebook, sort of thing. So then we've got a $50 set of scales here that are half broken, but they're cheap. They're very cheap. So I only dropped them. They're not broken. They're fine. So a good set of scarves. All you need to do is make a comment. If you're new here, just say hello, because then you've entered the draw, right? And happy days. Right, so there's a couple of questions there I spotted. In Queensland, are we able to get out at night-time prospecting areas or daytime hunting? You can go at night, Ethan. Yep, night-time. I do a bit of night-time detecting, particularly when there's a rainbow over there, and I think, oh, I haven't had any luck today. May as well try the rainbow technique. Follow the rainbow, see what happens. So yeah, that's how I work. Now next week we might I might just do a bit of a summary of next week, right? So Palmer River, big. I want to do a big thing on the Palmer River. There is some cool stories about the Palmer River. I'm going to spend some time having a look at my book and pull out the best of them. I've got a nice book on the Palmer River. So there are some cracking stories about the Palmer River and some mental gold fights in the Palmer. So mental stuff, right? So since it's the start of autumn today, the weather will start to cool down. I need another mouse for that. We're doing what detector would I buy for autumn. Now it's come at it's come at the wrong time because there's obviously the 6000 comes through, but yeah. So air detector. Any news on an air detector? The air detector, I haven't heard anything. I'm going to chase it up and find out what the air detector thing was, because that is ridiculous. I think we might have done our money there. So I don't think we've done our money, but geez, it's been a long time. So Robert says you can't detect in the Palmer River. Stay tuned next week, mate. Right, so trainer in Victoria. Loretta, if you can send me a text to one of the phones, I want to make a couple of phone calls on that one. I really do want to get a good trainer in each of the states that I can recommend, because the problem is the people I recommend for training, this is the criteria. I have to know them, right? I have to know the information they're giving is excellent, right? And they have to do something different to me, right? So in Victoria, you can get more basic stuff, but there's a lot of trainers at the moment, good trainers at Warwick, who I'm not going to recommend because they do the same thing as me. So come to the lease if you want that sort of training. And I reckon my training's better anyway, but that's just quiet. So yeah. But yeah, so yeah, training's happening. So right. Right. Have you hidden? Oh, I'm not talking about my treasure or Ollie's treasure yet. We're going to get there, so don't worry about that. So yeah. Look, do you know how to work with the police SES search streamers and detectors? I'm interested, as when you see them on the news, they're clearly swinging wrong, high off the ground, not level. Yes, Luke. Oh, Luke. So Queensland Police, I got them, the police service, the forensic service. I organised them all their detectors, right? And have done numerous training with the police, which when I see them on the news, I'm sort of a bit embarrassed by. They need to get me up there again, but we haven't had a chance to. Well, they haven't contacted me actually. Yeah, so they don't like SES, police, fire, any of those guys won't let any of the member of the public get in there. I put a suggestion to them originally when they were going to spend a fortune. I said, let me put a team of people together who know what they're talking about. You can give them some briefing on the area and what not to touch and what to touch. And they said no. So they wanted their own blokes to do it. Fair enough too. Yeah. So, yes. I know they're swinging. Yeah. The good thing is they're normally looking for big things. Guns, knives, all that sort of stuff. So there's hope for them. But, yeah, I know what you're... yeah. Tony, what do you think about the coils for the Knox 600 or the 800? The Knox coils are supposedly fantastic. There's a delay in getting them. I can't seem to get them, but I see other people have got them, but that's just another thing. So, yeah. Yes. So, yes, it's very sensitive work, the police stuff. Like, I get it. But, like an experienced... The skill level of an experienced, particularly relic detectorist, but also gold detectorist, but an experienced relic detectorist who smashes parks and military camps and that sort of thing. That experience is just, it's worth, yeah, I think there's got to be a way that some of these good quality detectorists, these awesome detectorists, can help out, but I don't seem to want sort of thing. So I suppose if you fell down the hole and broke your ankle and then sued them and you touched a pen that was important because someone had, you know, like, who knows? Yeah, we would have, yeah. Who knows? Let's do all these prizes. Let's get the random generator going here. We just need... Because I'm slack, I haven't organised nothing. Where's my comments gone? I need my comments up when we get over here. Now, let me just get this organised. I know I should do this beforehand. I was running late. I didn't have a bucket full of water, to be honest with you. That was the big issue tonight. That was the giant issue I had tonight. So I was running completely late. I did a live on Golden Sperm Mining. I try to do a live every Monday night. I don't often, but I tried to do a live on Monday Night Live tonight and on Golden Spur and got it in and then realised how late I was. So it's like, oh no. So, but anyway, that's how it goes. So, so let's have a look here. I'm just loading this up here. Just loading this up. Sorry, guys. Right. So, the Facebook is the whatchamacallit, the scales, right? So we, oh God, what happened there? Sorry guys, I've mucked this up here. Just gotta get it going again. On the road again. It's let me just pull this up here. We're live. We get that happening. Why is that doing that? Sorry guys, it's not playing the game tonight. Let's just have a look at it. Let's see if that works. Here we go. Oh, no, it's not. I don't know how that works. That'd be right, wouldn't it? Hey? We need to get out of that. Sorry guys, here we go. We're getting it there. YouTube is playing. Not fun. Here we go. I've got it, I think. I have it. I have it. Let me just load these up. Okay, so let's do the YouTube first. YouTube is for the pick holder, right? So it goes out to Tony Hutchinson. Tony Hutchinson, congratulations, mate. You need to contact me and tell me you've won a pick holder. Contact me on Messenger on Facebook, or ring the shop on that number, or send me an email or whatever. Now, for the scales, $50 set of scales. Here we go. That's my barrel rolling noise. If anyone's wondering what the hell's wrong with that boy, there's a lot wrong with him, but that's it. So this one goes out to Warren Barron. Warren Barron, congratulations, mate. You've scored yourself a set of scales. I can send you a message after the show, so I will do that. So congratulations, Warren. You've got a set of scales. I'll contact you after the show. Please join next week. We're going to talk about Palmer River. I'm excited about this one, Palmer River. I love the Palmer River. It's one of my favourite places. In fact, I would possibly, if things were different, be spending some time at the Palmer. So, but that's how it is. Righto, guys. So next week, join the show. I'm going to put the thing up. If you can share it, please. Share it to a group that allows sharing, because we don't want to upset too many people, and that'll be great. Righto, guys. Have a beautiful, safe week. Hope you find lots of gear. Get out there and use your detector. Have a crack at a pan. If you haven't got a pan, have a crack at it, because you need it. You just need it. Righto, guys. I will see you all next week. Thanks very much, guys. Bye.
Thanks guys for watching. Remember to like, share and subscribe, and call us on the Daylight Helpline. See you next time.